Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Yamamoto Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest is the 2017 British Finals overall champion, our good friend from the UK, James Hollingshead. Welcome.
How you doing, Dave? Thank you for having me. I think this is we did speak once before, but this is the first, obviously, time we're speaking as a professional. So thank you for having me on the show.
Congratulations on the big win. You not only won the super heavyweights, you won the overall as well. You took home that pro card that is not very prevalent in the UK. It's very hard to get that pro card over there. And I know you've been trying for quite a while. You were 5th last year. Talk to us a little bit about, what improvements you made from last year to this that enabled you to really cinch that victory.
I think the difference this year, I started working with a good friend of mine that a lot of the guys will know, Jordan Peters. He's an expert. If your problem is putting on, let's say, muscle in the off season, he's the man to see. And I had a problem where I was kind of falling behind in terms of carrying enough tissue to hang with the big boys, let's just say. Condition was never really a problem for me. And what I really needed from last year to this year was to just come in larger with the same condition, and having Jordan's kind of training philosophies in place, which is a lot of progressive overload, we managed to put on a substantial amount of weight and hold it through the diet. So yeah, the big change really was the same physique but with more of it, and that was all I needed to do, to be honest. I was told that was all I needed to do, and we managed to pull it off, thank God. So yeah, it was an easy goal to know how to, it was an easy goal to get, but it's just about making sure that during the diet we didn't lose what we put on, because it's very easy to over diet for someone like myself. I do get quite stringy quite easily. So it was a successful year, plan went well, and so it was brilliant. We did exactly what we set out to do, basically, Dave.
Well, you're only 28 years old, so you got your whole future ahead of you. Not many guys are able to get that pro card in their 20s. You did it. What did you weigh? I noticed you weighed about 242 pounds. I think we did the conversion from. What was your weight last year at that show?
I was at least 8 pounds lighter.
Wow.
I was at least 8 pounds lighter last year.
Okay, so that was good.
And again, I think Dave, it's not because I haven't had the muscle in the off season. It's that I haven't had the ability to maintain it in the dieting process. And I think that's where Jordan excelled, is that keeping my muscle on me while I was coming down in weight.
Well,
it's more sustaining, really.
Let's talk about that. What do you feel that you did this diet that you didn't do last year that enabled you to keep that muscle? What was different about the program?
The most important part, this is straight no bullshit, is the progressive overload. Because even when I was dieting, I was logging all my workouts, I was still definitely aiming to be as strong, if not stronger, while I was dieting. And that chasing the strength, not in a stupid way where I'm like, I have to do it regardless of form, but having that goal in hand and in mind all the time kept my strength up a lot more, and I can really account most of my muscle mass remaining on my frame down to those bigger lifts and staying strong. Because literally this diet, I must have got stronger for the first 10 weeks of it, and then perhaps strength only plateaued or dipped slightly in the last, let's say, four weeks or so, and even then it wasn't substantial. So I definitely would recommend to anyone that logging your workouts and keeping an eye on what you're lifting is probably one of the best ways to work out whether because if your performance drops too much, let's be real, then you're under eating, and I would have a habit of under eating. So I think we could keep an eye on lifts and food a lot easier when I was logging these workouts.
Now,
so
you have a fast metabolism. Another guy who might have had a slower metabolism, they may need to really push a little harder, So what you're saying basically is you had to identify what type of a metabolism you had and what worked best for your physique. Because if a guy out there is listening, he might say, oh, I'm going to do the same thing, and he might just be a fat slob because he's not going to lose the weight,
Oh, of course, definitely. What I would suggest is still I still recommend the logging of the exercises.
Right.
But obviously the most important thing is, looking in the mirror and checking body fat and making sure that's coming down at the same time. Obviously, if that's not dropping, then there's a problem. But the goal of staying strong just really, really did add to, number one, the enjoyment of the process, because you had a purpose in the short term, which was fun, because dieting sometimes is very long and you think, I've still got 10 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is.
Right.
But when you're going in the gym and you've got a purpose for that day, each day becomes fun, and it makes the diet a lot less stressful than one that's not looked upon in that kind of manner. So I really do find that was what saved me mentally and physically this year.
Well, the number one logger of everything that they do in the IFBB is Guy Cisternino. No one writes down more things about. I mean, he writes down bowel movements in his log. And I know he was out there staying with you for a little bit. He trained at your gym over there. Did you get any ideas from him? Did he give you any ideas about keeping a log? Because no one's better than he is.
I get ideas from everyone, to be fair, Dave. Like I follow everyone that I like in the industry. Guy's a friend of mine. I'm fortunate enough to have trained with him, and we talk quite regular. And just from me looking at something like his Instagram stories and the intensity alone is enough to motivate me, because he's a guy that just doesn't stop. So more from Guy, I picked up just the fact that intensity is important, and pushing through even when it gets hard. Because that guy, you know, he'll push through even if he's on death's door. And sometimes you've got to do that, because, you know, last man standing and all that, because someone else might be genetically superior or even be better than you, but they don't make it to show day because mentally they break. And someone like Guy doesn't break. So from guys like himself, that's probably what I pick up more from them, is just the enthusiasm to see it through until the very end. And that's important, because I know bodybuilders that are potentially better than me, that I have beaten or haven't made it to show day because of the mindset.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this question. After you got off stage at the pre-judging, you probably had a pretty good idea that you won that super heavyweight class.
Do you know what, Dave? I didn't have a clue, mate.
No?
No, I have to admit, I haven't been confident in the last few years. I've had like a bit of a turn. I've gone from being the super heavyweight champion at 25 to having a very big dip in my performance, and wondering why and learning why. And now I figured it out, but it took the win to give me the confidence back. Now, if you ask me if I'm confident going into the pro ranks, having a year to grow, I feel absolutely fantastic and confident. But yeah, at the time, if I'm honest, I was battling the mental game, and I just, the only thing that kept me going, actually, if I tell you this, do you know Anth Bales? He's another professional.
Very nice guy.
Anth is a legend, and he was on the end of my phone for the last week of the show, just telling me, be a cyborg, you have no emotions, see it through to the end, do not stop, 100% or nothing. And he done that every day, without fail. He would do that at 6 in the morning to make sure that I started my day right. And that ultimately saw it through, because I mentally had nothing left. But like I say, now I'm confident again, because it's reinstalled my faith in my own ability. So it did take the win, if I'm honest, to bring back the James of old, and I feel good for it. So it couldn't have happened at a better time.
Now that you got the pro card, obviously the question is, you know, when will we see you on stage? Now, we were chatting a little off camera, and you had mentioned to me that you might take the whole year off. Why do you feel that you need to do that?
Because it's something I haven't done, and I've competed very, very regular while I've been an amateur, and there's a lot of ventures that I have that can take place this year that will help me as not only as a bodybuilder, but as an influencer as such, to help people kind of understand more what we do. So I have opportunities that can coincide with an off season. A lot of content can be made alongside with Jordan and whatnot, and I can use that time to truly put on some muscle, because really I haven't had an opportunity to do that. When I started with Jordan, we literally had a matter of weeks to put on some muscle into a diet, and bearing in mind we only had that time, we did a great job. So my enthusiasm is high, because I can't imagine how much we can do with a longer period of time. And even he feels the same. Even he's like, yeah, now it's time to truly commit. And since turning pro, I'm in a bit of a better position, not like great position financially, but I am able to put more emphasis on the bodybuilding now. And I really want to see what I can do with a year under my belt of solid training with no, distraction, and really just give it a good whirl and have fun with it. I don't expect to be, Mr. Olympia, but I expect to be a very good version of myself, and that's ultimately what it's about. So, yes, we'll see.
Whose physique in the pros do you like? Do you say, hey, that's a physique that I think I could, achieve and I would like to have?
Yeah. So there's physiques I like, but obviously aren't achievable. And obviously, the first physique I'll probably mention is Nathan, because Nathan and I used to compete together. He won the heavyweight when I won the super before, and he's gone on to be number 7 in the world, and I can't take anything away from him because it's been an absolute inspiration seeing someone who you used to stand on stage with become something of a marvel, and I can only see him going further and further up the ladder. But when I look at him do a front mat spread, I think those are some really good genetics right there. You know, thank your mum and dad for that, because not many people are going to look like that.
Yeah.
But I think as like it sounds strange, but as a Caucasian bodybuilder, so I do tend to look at other like white fellas and see what physiques I like. I'm a massive fan of Sadiq in the 212s because he doesn't look like a 212, and I love his shape. You know, Sadiq Milan.
Yeah. Shot it.
So
yeah.
Sorry, I'm bad at pronouncing, but anyway, he's the physique I really like, and if he was like taller and wider, if I could look anything like that, I think I'd be really happy, because for me, he has it all. Great conditioning, the lines are apparent throughout his whole body. There's not anything I look at and go, oh, that isn't quite right. I think he has more detail and more definition than a lot of the open guys, because the open guys, you know, they're fantastic, but I do feel that there is space for someone to come along who brings condition that is slightly superior and looks a bit more more granite. And I would love to see someone like myself, hopefully, be the person that comes and does that. Obviously.
Now let's talk. You run a gym out in South London there, King's Gym. It's been open about a year now. I know you had a lot to do with the opening of that gym. Talk to me a little bit about it, and what kind of a gym is it? Is it a hardcore gym?
Yeah, so we've got a really good gym. There's co-founded by myself and a gentleman named John and his 2 sons. We opened last year in October, and we just celebrated its first birthday. The gym has blown up. In a year, it's become it's like the spot, it's the place to go. If you're in London and you need to train at a good gym, you come to King's, and I mean that. That's not just because I'm there, it's just because it is fantastic. It's primarily a bodybuilding gym, but we welcome everyone, and we do have everyone come and use it. A lot of ladies, a lot of older people. We even have some people with like learning disabilities come and use the facilities in the day with their carers. So it is a family gym. It's for everybody. And my current position is I do the social media management. So I run the Instagram. We organise events. Like for example, the other day we were celebrating the birthday. We had a lot of guests down, you know, like the other pros, like Luke Sando, Hardy Thornton, some of the friends that are from the UK and whatnot, promoting the gym and helping us out. It's a brilliant gym, and I'm trying to get like Ron Partlow when he comes and does a gym tour to get his ass in there, because he has asked me. So it's a good gym, and I would say to anyone that's in the UK that wants to have somewhere that you can train in, but feel absolutely at home and absolutely content in your workout and not distracted, King's Gym is definitely, it's the best place. It's 50% of the reason I've improved, because I've only had that this year, and this year is the year that I turned pro, so I have to give thanks to the equipment, the vibe, the aura, the people, the members. You know, we've got the best members. It's a family. We are all family, I promise you.
Is it air conditioning?
No.
No, I knew the answer to that question. I have never asked you, but I knew you were going to say no. What about heat? Do you have heat in the winter?
It's a warehouse with a big shutter and some old fans, black walls with gold writing and black writing, and and it gets pretty hot in there. But you know, we all kind of enjoy that. It's quite old school, to be fair. Any Americans that visit say it's very much like an American warehouse gym, which is what we want. It's what we wanted. It's what we wanted.
Yeah. Do you guys have heat in the winter?
Do we have heat in the winter? Yeah. We've got a heater in the corner. Some old, I can't remember the brand. It pumps out a little bit of heat.
It's like they have a fireplace there. They throw wood on the fire. That's how they warm up.
We might as well, to be honest. It pumps out probably just enough heat that if you stand right next to it, you'll warm your hands up.
That's hardcore.
Other than that, you got to go and just get your sets started and just get warm. There's no other way.
Yeah, there's very few gyms like that left in the U.S., but I could definitely see that happen. You could probably rent the gym out at night to do raves and stuff like that. You know, nightclub raves.
God, yeah, definitely. I would imagine in the winter there'll be static lights hanging from the bars.
James, congratulations on the big win and the new IFBB Pro status.
Thank you, my man.
We're looking forward to seeing you get up on an IFBB Pro stage for the first time. We might have to wait till 2019, or who knows? Maybe you'll shock us at the end of 2018. Either way,
we'll see how progress goes.
yeah. Either way, enjoy the victory while it lasts, and I can't be happier for you.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. And appreciate your time. Thanks for having me on.
How can people get in touch with you if they want to reach out to you?
Literally, I'm on Instagram. It's Hollingshead89. My email is jhollingshead89@gmail.com. And yeah, that's literally it. Just hit me up on either one of those. It's always nice when someone throws a follow. I do answer a lot of DMs. I try to be as interactive with people as possible, So if you do hit me up, you'll probably get a message back, because I do appreciate people taking their time out to say hello and whatnot, because it does mean a lot. So yeah, just hit me up on there and I should get back to you.
What is the 89? Is that the year you were born?
That's the year I was born, yeah.
Oh my God, am I getting old? I graduated college in 90. You were 1 year old. I'm an old bastard. James, congratulations again, and thanks for taking time out of your schedule.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good day, guys, and thanks for having me.
That'll take us to the end of another episode of Live With, brought to you by Yamamoto Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and we'll see you next time.